afternoon, everyone. Incoming UE Pelicans of the UE St. Augustine campus. Welcome to session 2 of Smart Start, our weekly virtual workshop series designed to meet your informational needs as part of our campus's first year experience program, proudly brought to you by the Division of Student Services and Development, which you will soon come to know as the DSSD. I am Gerald Alder, Manager of Student Engagement, and today I am joined by members of my team at the Student Engagement Department, along with colleagues from varying sections within the Office of the Campus Registrar. And together we will guide you through today what I trust will be another insightful and another enjoyable learning session. So for those of you who were here with us earlier this week for our first Smart Start session, we say welcome back and thank you for engaging and sharing your much valued feedback with us. To those of you who are new here and joining us today for the very first time, we say an extra special welcome to you. We are truly honored that you have chosen us at the UE St. Augustine campus for your university experience and through our campus's first year experience program, which we refer to as FYE. We are indeed committed to ensuring that you transition successfully to your first year of study with us and beyond. So earlier this week at Smart Start, we explored academic readiness, expectations of university life, and building your career with intention from day one. If you missed this session or would just like a recap of the information shared, here's a gentle reminder that this video recording is available on our FY YouTube channel for you to review at your convenience. So in today's session, we will be discussing all things registration, a critical and mandatory process. I'll say that again, a critical and mandatory process that you will soon be required to go through in preparation for the new semester, which is expected to commence officially on August 23rd. We'll begin this afternoon with a presentation and a step-by-step guide on the registration process from members of our campus's admissions team. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge Miss Simone Roberts, our Assistant Registrar of Admissions, our Assistant Registrar for Student Administration Systems, Ms. Karen Dickerson, and our team at the SAS unit, as well as Mr. Jean-Pierre Lacaille, who leads our campus's registry IT team, and he will guide you a little later on this afternoon through the process for obtaining your UE student ID card. So as you can tell, there is much to absorb in today's session, valuable insights and information that will help you with your preparation and confidence as you begin your first year of university with us in just a few weeks. And trust me, we are counting down. So now you want to be sure to have your writing material today to take notes. We encourage you also to be attentive in the session, ask questions at the appropriate time, and also to breathe. I said it last week, I'll say it again today. Breathe and trust that by participating in FYE, you are definitely on the right path of attaining success in your first year with us at the UE St. Augustine campus. So now that I've outlined what you can expect today, it is my pleasure to invite Senior Administrative Assistant at our campus's admissions office, Mr. Garth Jones, who will guide you through registration in 7 easy steps. Mr. Jones, over to you.
All right, so my name is Mr. Garth Jones. I'm from the admissions office at UWI. I'd like to welcome you all to the university family. And I'm pretty sure you're very excited to start with us in semester 1. Some of you are very anxious as to what you need to do next. This is what the purpose of this session is, right? So I'll just go through very briefly what to expect when it comes to doing registration or how you register for your courses. And we have other presenters throughout this session to assist you with either how you get your ID card and stuff like that. And further on in sessions further on this week, or over the next few weeks, you get to speak to persons concerning how to get financial clearance. But we'll touch a little bit on that today. All right, so first step, online registration for semester 1, 26-27 begins on the 17th of August, 2026 and ends on the 11th of September, 2026. All right, so this is what is mentioned in red there. All students must register online each semester, and that's very important. So when you do, we have registration, this registration exercise happens every single semester. So semester 1, which is in September, We have it in semester 2 when you come back out for your Christmas vacation. All right, so in semester 2, January, you're doing your registration there as well. And persons who are doing summer courses, right after semester 2 in May, June, you'll be doing registration for that as well. Right, so every single semester you must select courses online. Right, so the process is completed in 7 easy steps, and this is the link here. You can get this also on our website. You go through the university's homepage. There is a registration page that takes you directly to this link as well. All right, step 1 is to access your registration information, which is your 2026 academic calendar, and your faculty booklets, which is specific to you for whatever program that you would have been accepted to, right? So this is your first line of reference concerning what courses you'll be doing over your period, stuff like that. What is your regulations for your particular faculty? If you're thinking about getting some exemptions based on the CAPE subjects that you've done, or probably a program you did previously in a different institution, you could probably reference this to see if you're qualified for exemption, accredited, stuff like that. All right. The academic calendar normally gives you a broad overview of all the activities that are happening at the campus for the academic year, starting from registration, when exams start, what breaks you get during the semester. We have activities like graduation, matriculation ceremony, UE Life, and also little deadline dates if you decide to transfer, stuff like that. So the academic calendar for the university is a very important tool as a new student to work out what you can do or what is important to you over the next academic year, right? So that academic calendar will be available from the first week in August for you all to view online. All right, so step 2, you register for GATE, for Trinidad and Tobago Nationals only, right? I guess in other sessions you'll get some more information on this, but this is quite important. Now, if you have already been accepted, you can apply for your GATE number now, right? In some cases, they may allow you to apply for the GATE assistance early. So we'll confirm that when you get to the session concerning financial clearance. But for now, you can visit, I think it's TT Connect, and you can get your GATE number to get the ball rolling. All right, so you could also contact the GATE office. You have the website for the GATE office there as well for more information. All right, step 3, you attend academic advising. So this is your first step where basically you're meeting persons at your faculty. Each faculty will have a faculty orientation and academic advising schedules posted pretty soon. Right, so you'll get to actually speak to the persons from your faculty. They'll give you advice as to what you're doing for the next academic year. You could ask them questions about what, if you're not sure about something. Sometimes at this point in time, they may give you advice. If you decide that you want to transfer after your first year, for those who want to do another program but you didn't get into it, you could talk to them here and they could advise you as to what courses you can do that could cater you towards that transfer later on. Right? Academic advising is compulsory for all new and re-entry students. All right. Now, the reason why this is in red is because as a new student, you'll have an advising hold on your account. So you will not be allowed to select any courses until you have done this activity. All right. So let's make sure that this is something that this is very important. You need to get this done before you're allowed to select courses online. All right. Right. So step 4, you select your semester 1 or year-long courses online. All right. So I just want to touch on this. Some of you will be doing some year-long courses. Year-long courses show up in semester 2. All right. The problem here is that you need to select something in semester 1 first before it allows you to put in that year-long course. So you may have a problem here. Some persons have this problem. So just make sure when you did your academic advising that you select all your semester 1 courses first before you select any year-long courses, because you will get an error. Right? And this is the student portal, the link for the student portal that you'll be using. You'll get some more, once you get access to it, you'll get some more practice into how to use it and stuff like that, right? So you don't have to worry about that right now. All right, step 5, you enroll in FeePay to obtain financial clearance. So FeePay is a mandatory online registration and payment system. It allows students to check their fee balances and enroll in flexible payment plans, such as the student payment plan, and instantly receive financial clearance for the semester, right? So this is something that's important. You need to enroll in FeePay so that you can get financial clearance. And with this facility, you'll be able to check again what your finances are like, if you have any holes, if you earn any money, stuff like that. And the good thing about it, it breaks up your fee. You can pay your fees within 3 installments. Right, so the first installment is actually due at the end of August, right? And at the end of each month, they will give you a deadline to pay off a certain portion of your fees, all right? For those who are using Gate, they take that into account. So they'll break it up in a way that you will be only paying those 3 payments minus the amount that you have to pay for through Gate. Right? So by the time that final payment is made, Gate would have already assessed you by your means as to what percentage they would give you in financial aid. Right? So you'll get more information about that probably in the next session or a few sessions this month concerning financial clearance. All right, step 6, obtain your UE student ID or /smart card. And this is the link for you to get more information on that. We also have our Mr. JP Lakai who will talk about this in more detail. You no longer have to come in for us to take a picture of you. You can take a picture for yourself using your cell phone once it's clear enough. And once you have financial clearance, you can upload your photo for us to be created. And you'll be contacted by his office to collect your ID card, right? But he'll give you more information about this. There's more at the end once you've gotten financial clearance. All right, step 7, maintain financial clearance. Right, so again, once everything is fine, you now have access to the UE portal where you can access your e-learning accounts and stuff like that. Because our programs are more blended. So yes, you will have classes face-to-face, but there are also classes or assignments you have to, take part in online. So having financial clearance affects that. So if you don't have financial clearance, you wouldn't have access to e-learning. So it's very important to keep or maintain your financial clearance for the semester. All right. So this overview, as soon as when you fully registered, following the selection of courses online and the payment of all requisite fees. Right. And registration allows a student to access My eLearning, to attend lectures, sit exams, access library resources, membership in the Guild of Students. I also want to focus on that part there where it says sit exams. Please ensure that after you complete your registration, that you're financially clear, that you have nothing holding you back from writing your exams, because you need to focus on that at the end of the semester, then have to run around to try and get fees sorted out at that point in time. So before the end of October, try to sort out everything that you need to do so you don't have that problem later on. All right, so I was going to touch on some services that the admissions office or more the university would provide to you. So you have access, as a student, you'll have access to something called the Online Student Request System, or the OSRS. You will be able to access this through your student portal. So if you decide that you want to take leave of absence, with leave of absence, you want to take some time off from the university, you're allowed a semester, a year, maximum of 2 years. But if you're using this OSRS system, you have to apply for your leave of absence per semester. All right, so if you decide, you want to take some time off next semester from January to May, you go into the system, you indicate you'd like to take leave for semester 2. Your dean or deputy dean will approve it based on whatever reason you gave, and it'll be forwarded to the admissions office for us to update it. All right, the same goes for the change of enrollment status. If you decide that you probably started to work and you like to change from full-time to part-time, you can use the system to request a change of enrollment status. Right now, some faculties have their own system where you can apply for a lot more than this, in particular like science and technology, but you can also use this as well. So you have various options how to request these things. All right. So you use to log into or to apply for services offered through the OSRS. So you log into your student portal using myue.edu. Go to My Secure Area, Student Services and Financial Aid. You click on Registration, and you'd see the options Application for Leave or Application for Change of Status. Once you just follow the steps to the application and click Submit. As simple as that. Each step of it is approved at the faculty level and it's at the admissions office to be done. You'll get an email once someone touches your record, so you know what's going on, right? All right, this is just a example of some of the certain matters that you may request in your career with us. All right, so you can also request this through our office. Application for change of major, application for transfer coursework, application for course not for credit, and stuff like that. So this is some stuff that you would probably not familiar with right now, but this is just an example of what you can apply for. Right. This information is also on the website, so you can familiarize yourself with the terms. All right. If you need to contact us for any reason, right, this is the email addresses that you'll be using. Right, so the first one, UGapply, sta.uwi.edu, is the go-to basically email that we use, and admis@sta.uwi.edu is something that is a general email for the admissions office. So if you have any queries at all, we will try to get to you as soon as possible. Or you can also visit our office. Right, so if you have any queries, you can always come to us. We have our CSRs at the front that will be able to give you much or any kind of queries that you have. We can assist. All right. The opening hours for the building will be 8:30 to 4:30. All right. Thank you very much. We'll be fielding questions, I'm guessing. Jarrell, that's the end of the presentation. All right. So feel free to ask us questions. We are here to help. All right, so I hope you all have enjoyed the rest of the session. And thank you again.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Jones. And students, well, if you're not new here, you know the drill around here. We send some love, we share some love in the chat for our facilitators, and I'm seeing some love coming through. So, Mr. Jones, thank you so very much. And yes, we will take some questions. And before we do, I want to remind you some key things that Mr. Jones would have shared with you. And one of the key things was ensuring that you take note of what you have to do at this present stage, right? So he would have shared with you when that registration process is expected to start. I'm hoping that you've taken note of that date. I believe it's the 17th of August, if I'm not mistaken. So that's definitely one of the things that you want to take note of. He would have shared with you how registration will be done. So he did explain that it's an online process. And if it is that you haven't done so already, we encourage you to visit the FYE website, which also has a breakdown of the registration process that he would have just shared. So it's very, very important that you are taking notes as you go along. We know that you will have questions and you will be able to ask those questions at the appropriate time, but it's important that you start creating a roadmap for yourself. All right, so trust and believe that information will be shared with you as you progress over the next few weeks, but just be sure to take notes of the key things at this stage. All right, so I see we have a hand raised, and that's Kayla. So Kayla, I'll invite you, if you can, to unmute your microphone and you can ask your question. If it is that we have any other burning questions, feel free to place them in the chat as well so we can direct. Step 1 and step 2. Mr. Jones, do you mind just going through again the first and second steps in the registration process that you want students to know at this particular time?
Alrighty. So of course the first step that you'll need to look at is access the information online, right? So you access your registration information. As I stated before, the academic calendar is not up as yet. So if you go on the website right now, you'd see the academic calendar for 25-26. And that is because we are still in that academic year. Exams are going on now for summer. Actually, no, it starts from next week. Exam starts from next week. So as soon as that's ended, they should have that academic calendar available for you to see. Faculty booklets are being updated right now, but you can take a look at it now and see for this academic year, what the regulations are and what is expected of you. But those booklets will also be available pretty soon. All right. The second step is, of course, is the register for GATE. All right. So again, if you haven't done so as yet, you can contact your TT Connect office or GATE office, and they'll give you an idea what you need to do for now. Normally, at this point in time, once you have your offer letter, they allow you to apply early for the GATE assistance, but get that information from the GATE office before you do it, right? So apply for your GATE number, get the information from the GATE office, and you could start that ball rolling instead of trying to get that done in August when you're running around to get your courses sorted out and stuff like that, right? So at least you have one step done, right? Anything else, Gerald?
Thanks for that, Mr.
Other than
Jones.
those two?
There are a few things that I think we can get through very quickly as well. So, team, I'm gonna ask if it is that we can place the link to the 7 steps of the registration process in the chat. So, students, this is the big league, right? This is university. And one of the key things you'll be told along this journey is the importance of reading for your degree. So, it's important that you take notes of the things that you need to familiarize yourself with, and more importantly, you need to read as well. All right, so Mr. Jones would have mentioned your faculty booklet that's being updated. So at this stage, that's one of the documents that you want to note so that once it's available, you take some time and you go through the contents of that document, right? We also mentioned that the registration steps are outlined on the FYE website. So that too is something that you want to take a note of so that you can head over and you can familiarize yourself as well with the details within that process, right? So I'm seeing some questions about when the dates for academic advising will be posted. So very soon you will receive your invitation to attend faculty orientation, and as part of that invitation, you will get some information on when the academic advising sessions relative to your faculty will be scheduled. All right. I'm seeing someone asking for a petition for students to get a stipend, for UWI students to get a stipend. I mean, not a bad idea, but that's definitely something you want to take up with your guild. All right. So your guild council, they are the elected body, students just like you, who have been elected to represent your needs and interests. All right. So once you get to campus, in fact, we do have a session coming up with the guild. So that may be something you want to discuss with them. All right. So I'm seeing some more questions about academic advising. I'm hoping that I've sort of cleared that up, that information will come to you on the academic advising schedule relative to your faculty. I'm seeing some questions about GATE as well, which we're not delving into at this particular session. But next week, however, we do have, as part of Smart Start, we are expected to have some officials from the GATE office who will be here to delve into all things GATE program related. All right. So you want to save the date for that session and you want to ensure that you are here. Mr. Jones, as I have you here live, I want to ask, from your experience, what are like some common maybe 1 or 2 common mistakes that you've seen first-year students make where registration is concerned that you may want to caution the group that's joining us here this afternoon?
Let's see. Most students, and I say most students, seem to be kind of with it when it comes to the registration guidelines that we put out there. But in some instances, persons who probably they probably got their results late and they missed their orientation and stuff, and they're a little confused at that point. I would say late in August, early September. They may not be aware that they need to get academic advising to register before you select your courses. So they're getting these errors online. They don't understand why. They're confused. Classes started and they're getting frustrated. So just make sure, well, I guess those persons are not here yet, but when you follow the steps online, that academic advising is important. All right. So once that is removed, you can move on to selecting your courses online. All right. Also, this would not affect you per se, but I guess students, when they log in and they see these holes on an account, they may be worried. As a new student, you would have a medical hold on your account. All right. This will not affect your registration in any way or for you selecting anything. Right. All students of the university need to complete that medical form, and they normally give you until the end of October to submit it. I'm not saying to wait until then, But it's something that will always be there until the health service unit removes that hold from you. Now, it may not affect registration, but it affects you in ways like you can't apply for a transcript. You can't apply for any letters from the university, right? Until that hold is removed. So let's make sure that although it does not affect your registration, it affects you later on. Let's say at the end of December, you decide that you need a letter proving that your university student for insurance. You wouldn't be able to get it because you have a medical hold on your account. So try to make sure that you get all those things sorted out. Although I didn't mention it here, it is part of your registration package, indicating that you need to get it done, right? And this is also important for all foreign nationals as well, right? Because you may not, when you're flying into Trinidad, you may forget all about that. So you need to get that done at your local doctor, or if you have your immunization records, you can get it done at our health service unit as well, right? So that's some of the things that just came straight to the top of my mind there, Gerald.
Thanks for that, Gart. And I'm hoping that our students who are tuned in are not going to make some of those mistakes. All right. I'm seeing some faculty specific questions coming in the chat as well. And incoming students, just a reminder that your faculty orientation is coming up. Most faculties also have departmental orientation. So the specific department that you're in, based on the program that you're doing, at that session or at those sessions, you'll get an opportunity to meet with your program coordinators, your lecturers, etc. All right. So all of the program specific questions you'll direct to members of your faculty. And again, we'll share information with you on when those sessions will be coming up. If you haven't already done so, you can head over to the FYU website, particularly the event calendar. We have some tentative dates there for faculty orientation. But you want to be sure to stay tuned to your emails because we'll be sharing with you via email. That's how we'll communicate with you via email so that you will get information as plans progress. So at this particular time, some plans are still being formalized or finalized in different areas. So important for you at this stage is to take notes of the things that are coming up and the things that will require your attention. So when that time comes, you know exactly what you're doing. Remember, we are building a roadmap. All right. Mr. Jones, I want to ask you one more time to just share the contact information for the admissions office. Mr. Jones, for those of you who would have been here from the start, would have shared outside of the registration process some additional requests that you may have as you progress through your university journey that the admissions office will support you with. All right, so I will ask Mr. Jones to share that information again, whether on screen or in the chat, so at least you have the contact information for the admissions office. So as you progress over the next few weeks towards the start of the new academic year, you want to be sure to have the contact information. He would have mentioned the Lloyd Bradford Student Administration building as well, where the admissions office is housed. That's another, within there, there's a customer service center. So it's a key point of contact for you. All right. So you want to be sure to visit that office and that building and the offices within that building once you get to campus. I see Ms. Lewis from the admissions office just shared in the chat the email addresses for the admissions office. So again, it's ugapply@sta.uwi.edu, as well as admis, and that's ADMIS, at sta.uwi.edu. So now is a really, really good time to take note of that. All right. So, Mr. Jones, I'm not going to ask you to go just yet, although I know you have another commitment before we invite Miss Rochelle, who will introduce you to the registration instruction guide. So you'll get a sense of the how to where online registration is concerned. All right. So, Mr. Jones, asking that you hold for a second. We'll get back in just a short while. The Student Administration Systems Unit works tirelessly behind the scenes to support you in more ways than one. And today they have taken some time to be here to introduce you to a very valuable online resource prepared just for you. And this resource is the Undergraduate Registration Instruction Guide. I'll say this again so that the name sticks. The Undergraduate Registration Instruction Guide. Representing the SAS unit this afternoon is Ms. Rochelle Boudou, who I now invite. Ms. Boudou, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rochelle Boudou, and I am from the Student Administration Systems Unit, fondly known as the SAS unit, or to some students, if you've been here, if you've heard about it, we also call the Banner Office unofficially. So I'm just going to share my screen. So this is what we will be discussing today. I'm just going to do a quick introduction, and then we will go into what is the UG Student Registration Guide, the student portal, and then some frequently asked questions that we get in this department in terms of with reference to the guide. So first, I'd like to introduce the SAS unit a little bit. You may not hear about it often, but we are a very important unit when it comes to student life and in terms of registration. So our office really is a support office for students. We provide guidance and assistance with registration. So if students have any questions in terms of trying to register online, we can assist with that. We also support other student information systems, and we, as I said, we assist students with any registration issues. So today I will be introducing you to the undergraduate, which is UG for short, Student Registration Guide. This guide was created to provide students with a clear step-by-step reference guide for registration. This is a resource that you can use to successfully complete your registration process. We know that registration can seem overwhelming at times, especially if it's your first time navigating it. And this guide is designed to make the process much easier for you to handle. This guide is particularly useful to first-year students who may be unfamiliar with the UE registration procedures and online systems. It serves as a reliable reference that you can use before registration and during registration, and it helps answer common questions, and it helps you avoid mistakes that can delay your registration. So the guide, what's inside of the guide is screenshots, and it shows you how to sign into the student portal. It's also a step-by-step process in terms of how to register for your courses, how you can add your courses, how you can drop your courses. There is also a section in the guide that refers to course section codes. That is the different codes that each section has. For example, as a full-time student and a part-time student, most likely you are going to register in what we refer to as the S01 section. And it also brings to light like this issue called course override requests. I will just talk about this briefly, as I know later on that there will be more detail with the registration guide. So a course override request, it really refers to that if you are registering and you encounter any sort of registration restriction, it would let you know if you're able to submit an override request online to register for the course. The guide also has the SAS unit contact information. So this is how you can access the guide. I know that you are familiar with the First Year Experience website. So you go on the First Year, the FYE homepage, and if you look at the top right-hand corner, you will see Registration 101. This is a drop-down menu. And in the drop-down menu, the second thing that you can select is the UG Student Registration Guide. So closer to the registration period, I know there will be a UE Clicks session that you will receive a demonstration on how to register for your courses. So at this time, we will not go into detail on how to register, but I just would like to point you to where you can access this guide. You can download it, you can read it, and you could familiarize yourself with the process. So at this point, I would like to introduce you to the student portal. What is the student portal? This portal is your central access point for many of your student applications. These include My Secure Area, My eLearning, and your UE email. To register, when you sign into the student portal, you will have to access My Secure Area, also known as Banner, and this is where you will have access to the links that you'll be able to register for your courses. As mentioned before, you can access My eLearning there and your UE email. I did notice before that someone asked, what is your UE email? That is assigned to you when you are accepted. And it's usually your first name dot last name at UE, UE.edu. So this portal, to access this portal, you go onto the website www.my.uwi.edu. When you visit this website, you will first be presented with a landing page. This is a screenshot of the landing page below, and it will invite you to choose your campus and get started. So in our case, we select St. Augustine campus. When you select St. Augustine campus, you will be greeted with the Welcome to the Student Portal page. At this point, you will enter your student ID number. Usually it starts with an 8, and it's normally provided for you when you get your acceptance letter, and you enter your password. If it is your first time logging into the student portal, your password will be your date of birth in the format of the full year, the month, and then the date. So it's 4 digits for the year, 2 digits for the month, and 2 digits for dates. Once you have successfully logged in, you will have access to all of your student applications and services. So I just have a few frequently asked questions here. So the first one that we see a lot, which is happening right now as you've already been accepted, you're asking, when can I register for my courses? The registration for semester 1 begins on Monday, 17th August, 2026. Why can't I access the student portal yet? I'm sure many of you have tried to use the student portal and realized that it's probably not taking your password or your username. So at this point, the student portal is not accessible to new students. It will be accessible to new students closer to the registration period. So do not be alarmed if you try and you cannot get through. You will get through closer to the registration period. My password isn't working. What should I do? So if your password is not working, there are many people you could contact, and one of them is the Student Administration System Unit, which is this department right here, and we can assist you with resetting your password. And lastly, when I log into the student portal, I receive the error message, external user not found. What does this mean? So this issue sometimes occurs on certain web browsers. So it can be resolved by clearing your browsing history, or you can just try a different web browser. If the problem still continues, you are free to contact the SAS unit, and we will be happy to assist you. I've spoken a lot about contacting the SAS unit, and these are the 2 ways that you can. So we are very reliable when it comes to answering our phones. I know sometimes you call around and you say people don't answer their phones. We do answer our phones here at the SAS unit, and these are the extensions that you can use. So you call UWI's number 662-2002, and these are a few of the extensions that you can try. So you can take note of them. We also have a Banner student support email that is very responsive, especially during registration time. This is the email address. It's capital STA-banner STU support at sta.uwi.edu. So thank you for your attention. We hope this introduction has given you a better understanding of the undergraduate registration guide, and we look forward to supporting you throughout your registration process. We wish you every success as you begin your journey here at the University of the West Indies. Again, we are available to support students. You can call us. We will direct you. Even if we cannot answer the issue, we will direct you who you can speak to get your problem solved. Thank you.
Ms. Budu, thank you so very much. And I'm seeing a lot of love coming through the chat. I think persons are very, very appreciative of what you've shared this afternoon. I'm also not seeing a whole lot of questions coming through as well regarding registration. So I think that is also an indication or clear indication that students are following. All right. So Thank you so very much. Team, I know that we have, well, we discussed something else at this particular point in the program, but I feel like I want to sort of just keep the momentum going as we have Mr. Lakyle, who is also going to share some important information on the UWI student ID card. So students, before I invite Mr. Lakyle, I'm hoping that you're taking notes of some key things. One, registration dates. Right? When does registration open? Right? Am I seeing persons understanding that? Yes, let us know in the chat that you are following so you have a sense of when registration is expected. Good. So I'm seeing August 17th, so we know that registration, we know the date that registration will open, right? I saw Miss Rochelle just reinforcing as well, when you're signing into the student portal for the very first time, the password that you would use. So take a note of that, please. She just placed it in the chat. Take a note of that. All right. So you have your registration date. You understand that the student portal is the place that you go to facilitate your online registration, but you can only do so after academic advising. All right. So we're following so far. Ms. Boodoo would have also shared with you contact information. So should you run into any technical challenges where online registration is concerned, you have contact information that you can reach out to for technical support. Now, she also did mention UWI Clicks, and I want you to save the date for UWI Clicks. It's August 10th. And during this session, it's going to be a live demonstration of the student portal. So we'll actually have a current student who's actually going to show you what it is like going through the student portal, especially for the very first time. All right. So that's another date that you want to save. All right. So Mr. Gart outlined the registration process. Ms. Boodoo shared with you the importance of why you should engage with the registration instruction guide and where to find it. I saw Mr. Patty from our team also placing in the chat a copy of the registration guide. And now I want to invite Mr. Lakyle, who leads the registry IT team and will share with you on how to obtain your UWI ID. Now, let me tell you, if you don't have your UWI ID card, you are going to run into a lot of difficulties. It is one of the last, if not the last step in the registration process. But if you don't have it, you're not recognized on campus, and he will tell you more about that, all right? So help me welcome Mr. Lakyle from our Office of the Campus Registrar, who will take you through what would be our final segment before we share some house announcements with you. So Mr. Lakyle, I'm handing over to you.
Thanks, Joe. Welcome to our students. I'm excited to be here to share a little bit about the ID card process. So my colleagues went through registration and some of the technical things that you have to do to register. But the last step of registration is getting your ID card. Now, as Jarrell mentioned, without the ID card, that is your passport to the campus. It allows you to go to the library, it allows you to be on the campus, to enter different rooms. And so it's very important that you get your student ID card. So the first thing that you must have in order to get your ID card is financial clearance. And you will go through that registration guide and look at financial clearance as being very critical and maintaining that financial clearance. Because without financial clearance, you will not be able to get your student ID. So that's the first thing you have to be conscious of and aware of. The next thing, in order to collect your student ID card, you must have a form of national identification, either national ID card, passport, or driver's permit. Again, at that stage, your ID is validated against you, the person coming to collect, with your national ID. Because we don't actually take photos, the steps involved in getting the ID card require you to take a photo or to have a photo taken of you. And that is the main step that you have to do as a new student. Now, a lot of students have challenges because they try to take selfies, they use filters. You all are familiar with all these different social media techniques. Those won't be allowed. This is an identification picture, and it must follow certain criteria. So some of the specifications that a lot of students don't do or don't follow is it must be on a white, plain background. No patterns, no objects in the background, plain white background. All right. It also has to be a very current photo of yourself, color photo of yourself, not black and white, not any um, colors or anything like that, just a plain color photo of yourself. Also, it must have sufficient lighting, no shadows, no dark areas are allowed because the picture will not be validated with that. Additionally, it must be a full frontal view of you, okay? Not a side profile, not from above, below, etc. And in addition, try to ensure that your photo is not blurry, grainy, or pixelated in any way, because those photos also will not be accepted. Again, your eyes have to be wide open, visible, no sunglasses allowed, no, things that will obscure your face are allowed, no face coverings, masks, etc. If you have to have glasses or you wear eyewear, it must be clear, and you would also ensure that the photo allows us to see your eyes in the photo. In terms of headwear, the only approved or allowed headwear would be religious head coverings, and that must still allow us to see the full face in the photo. All right. So that is the first step. Now, the ID card picture, once you have that picture, you will be able to go to the website, which is idcard.sta.uwi.edu. And once you're on that site, you'll then be able to upload the photo. Now, to upload the photo, you need to have credentials to log in to our application, our ID card application. The ID card application allows you to log in with those credentials to upload your photo. Those credentials are sent to you once you've completed your online course selection. So once you have said you accept your admission to UWI, and you say, yes, I want to be a student, you will get that email with the credentials. Once you're on the website and you log in with your credentials, you're then asked to upload. As I said, make sure the photo meets the criteria that's on the website as well, and those guidelines that I just read out. Once that is done and uploaded successfully, the photo is validated. Now, a validation process usually takes within 24 hours of submitting to being validated. What we encourage students to do is to check by logging in to the application system, the upload application system, to ensure that your photo is validated. So for instance, if you upload a photo that is not accepted, you will get an email with saying that you need to resubmit, but it's also available via the online application system. So you can log in and see your photo has been processed and approved, and then you know that you don't need to do anything else. You just basically wait till you get it, till you go to the next step, which is to make an appointment to collect the ID. So once you've submitted your photo successfully, you have financial clearance, and your next step is to obtain the ID. To obtain the ID, you must also make an appointment via the ID card website. So the appointment system allows you to schedule appointments once the appointment system is open between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday during the registration period. And those dates will be set out once we've finalized the registration dates for the ID card process, which usually is for the first month of registration. And that usually begins at beginning of September till at least October. So it allows you time to complete your registration, make sure you have your financial clearance, register for your courses, do your academic advising and everything, and then you can work on processing your ID and collecting your ID card. So that is really the process of how you get your ID. Our office is located in the Lloyd Bradford Student Admin Building, and it's accessible during these normal working hours. And like I said, during registration, we facilitate extended hours between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The email address that you can send emails for any sort of assistance is idcard.help@sta.uwi.edu. And you can also call us on our extension, which is 83120. So again, those are our main contact points. And like I said, any challenges you have, feel free to reach out to us. We are here to help. And like I said, welcome to the university again. And I'm happy to answer any questions you all may have concerning what are the steps needed and what you need to do to get your student ID card. So Gerald, back to you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Lakyle. I'm seeing some love coming through in the chat. I think that persons are clear on the process. And of course, you've highlighted that it's the last step of the process. So it means incoming students that there are several things that you have to do before, as discussed earlier. All right. I want to thank Mr. Lakyle as well for sharing, highlighting, going into details. So this group should not have any issues with uploading photos and those type of things, right? This group, you're here and you're present and you've heard it directly from Mr. Lakyle about not just the importance, but also how. I'm seeing some persons laughing and stuff, right? But I'm hoping that you are definitely not going to be in that group of persons who are not sure what to do when that time comes. Mr. Patty would have shared in the chat the website that Mr. Lakyle referenced earlier, and that's the website that you will go to at the appropriate time to actually go through the process for your ID card. All right. So if I can just share screen very quickly, I'm hoping that persons can see. I know that you are visual people, our incoming Pelicans. So this is just sharing with you a visual of the site that you will go to at the appropriate time. All right. So this is the website for the ID card, and everything here is laid out. There are also guidelines, prepared for you as it relates to the photo and those type of things. So it's made very, very simple for you. As I mentioned earlier, at this stage of your life, university, reading for your degree is such an important thing. Like becoming so independent with the things that you have to do, you'll realize is a reality. It's expected of you. All right. So at this stage, really just taking ownership of the things that you're responsible for would be expected. And of course, you have your UB family that will be here to support you. I want to take a moment to pause to recognize our acting head of the Health Services Unit, Dr. Maria Daniel. I saw some questions in the chat earlier, of course, because it was referenced, when about your medical and your certificates and, those type of things. Rest assured, we do have a session coming up as part of Smart Start on the 21st of August, where Dr. Danielle and her team at the Health Services Unit will delve some more into that. So you definitely, like all other sessions, you want to attend. The other website that I want to share, and by now you should be familiar with this, but again, just for the purpose of this afternoon session, this is the FYE website. So today we spend some time talking about registration, and I just want to highlight very quickly where you will go to. All right, so this is the site. Registration 101 is the tab. Because registration is so important, there's an entire tab dedicated to registration information. All right. So under here, you're seeing terms to know. Let me tell you, terms to know is equally important to the discussion, because starting out this journey, you'll be introduced to new things. So we thought it very important to share with you some of the terms that you will encounter as you progress through your university journey here at the St. Augustine campus. So definitely check out this tab. And of course, by now you should be familiar with the undergraduate registration instruction guide that you would have been introduced to earlier. All right, so I'm doing a pulse check. Are we okay? Are we okay? Yes. Let us know that you're okay. Yes, I'm seeing some thumbs up, so we're okay. So we're not gonna get overwhelmed, because we know that this is a process. There are several steps, and what you're doing right now in this moment is very important, and that is availing yourself to the sessions that are providing you with the information that you need, that will equip you with the confidence that you require to navigate this important and for some of us scary, but so very valuable experience that is university. All right, so at this time, I want to hand over to Ms. Sukdio, all right, who's going to share some engagement stuff with you, and then we will seek to wrap up our session in just a few minutes. So, Ms. Sukdio, I'm handing over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Alder. So first, Pelicans, I just want to say great job, everyone. You all hang tight. we have covered a lot of information today, from understanding the registration process. You all got to see a little bit about the student portal from Ms. Voodoo. Those frequently asked questions, I think, were really beneficial, and I think you all can agree with me on that, even listening to all the things concerning your student ID card. So let's take a moment and reflect on what stood out to you. So you all did an engagement similar to this before. Right, so I'm going to welcome you all to the Mentimeter yet again. And I want you all to tell me, what's the most important registration tip that you've learned so far? So you all are going to scan the QR code and put in your responses as we create our cloud, our word cloud. Tell us, what is the most important registration tip that you have learned so far from today? Attending academic advising, yes. Read your information, yes, you all are reading for your degree. That is the most important thing, read. Patience, yes. The process is a bit long, but you'll just have to bear with us. Each step is important. Check your emails frequently. You'll have to check your emails every single day. You all will get important, vital information from invitations to different FYE events, reminders, etc. Reaching out to the SAS team or the banner team. Yes, in case if you all come up with any issues. Academic advising, financial clearance, yes. This is excellent. Time management. Following up, Perseverance Student Portal. Yes, you all got a chance to see the Student Portal today. And of course, when you all join us for UE Clicks, you will see a lot more of the Student Portal on that date. So don't miss it. And even if you all miss it, we do have the recordings available. Just be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our FYE YouTube channel. Thank you so much for participating in the Mentimeter. Right, so I would like for you all to complete this sentence. After today's session, tell me, what do you feel most confident about? You can raise your hand and then we will unmute your mic and you can answer. I'm seeing 2 participants.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I'm hearing you.
Hi, okay, so after today's session, I now feel more confident about navigating the UE student portal at the particular time mentioned, aka the 17th, and navigating
Excellent.
student life forward.
Excellent. So we definitely have to keep the 17th of August on our calendars. That's a very important date. So thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else could tell us what you all learned today and what you all are most confident about after today's session?
Yeah, Miss Gede. Yeah, what I feel confident about in UE St. Augustine is the fact that they made academic advising for your various faculty mandatory, and that makes me feel safeguarded as a new student, knowing that there are professional people in the university that is going to help me along the journey and to give me a proper roadmap. And I find that is very excellent.
Thank you so much. That was well put and well said. Thank you so much for participating. And I will be reaching out to the winners of all of our Smart Reflections today. So be sure to check your WhatsApp or your email because we will be reaching out to you to collect your prizes. Yes. Thank you so much. And Mr. Alder, back to you.
Thank you very much, Megan. I want to acknowledge that some persons are saying, and few, but I still want to acknowledge those persons who felt are still feeling very confused, and that is understandable. It is also normal to feel like that. You're not gonna get everything in one sitting. But as mentioned earlier, reading is important, all right? I'm also very heartened to hear that some persons are feeling even more confident. You still may not be leaving here with all of the information that you need to know, but at least you know more than when you would have started the session, all right? So again, we are breaking this up into pieces for you because we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. But there are some very important things that you have to do. So today we spend some time on registration. All right, we said to you that after today, you want to read the registration instruction guide. You want to visit the FYE website where the registration steps shared earlier with you. It's broken down there. You want to take note of when registration will open. You want to ensure that you tune in to the UWeClick session that will give you a live demonstration of the student portal, among other things. All right, so I'm hoping that you're leaving with that. So again, when you leave today, you want to tune into the next FYE Smart Start session. Next Tuesday, we'll be delving in to budgeting basics. And if you know, as a first year students, yeah, financial priorities will definitely be one of the key things. So we'll spend some time discussing with you some of the financial related information that you should know, how to prepare for it, and we'll also introduce you to the scholarships and bursaries available at the UWI St. Augustine campus. So you definitely want to tune in for that session, and you definitely want to benefit from the scholarships and bursaries available to you. Next Thursday, we'll be dealing with fees. All right, so today we spoke about financial clearance, and next week, Thursday, we will share with you the fee structure, some important dates that you should take note of. All right, so for today, I want you to note that the registration will officially open, as mentioned, on the 17th of August. So between now and then, where registration is concerned, you want to spend some time perusing the registration instruction guide, sorry. You want to spend some time going through that. You want to spend some time on the FYE website as well, going through the 7 steps of the registration process outlined, so that at the appropriate time, you will be able to advance the registration process. Also, next week, as part of the session on Thursday, we'll have some officials from the GATE office who will be here sharing some information with you on the GATE program. We saw some questions earlier about when do you sign up for GATE, how to, so those are things that you'll definitely be able to address and engage with our officials from the ministry next week. All right, I saw a question as well about when this session, or if a recording from today's session will be made available. Absolutely. So we will make this session available for viewing at your own convenience on our FYE YouTube channel. All right, so we have come to the end of our program today and our second session for Smart Start. We trust that the information shared with you was useful and that the experience has helped with your confidence as you prepare to start out your new semester in just a few weeks. Remember, this is session 2 of 6, so we have 4 more to go. We look forward to seeing you next week, which will be July 14th, for our second session, where we will discuss, as mentioned, financial planning basics for your first year of university. All right. We encourage you to stay tuned, of course, to your emails, for your invite, and you want to stay tuned as well to the FYE website for information on upcoming orientation initiatives. So if you haven't already done so, check out our FYE calendar of events. Stay connected with us on social media, including Instagram and our FYE YouTube channel. My team and I at the Student Engagement Department would like to thank our colleagues from the Office of the Campus Registrar today for joining us and sharing some much valuable information with you. So from all of us here at the UWI St. Augustine campus, as well as our specially invited guests, thank you so very much for spending this time with us. And we will see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. for session 3. Thank you, everyone, and see you soon.
Hey Pelicans, thanks for watching.
Make sure you like,
subscribe,
follow,
and share.